Here now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now, here now, here now, here now, here now, here now, and hey now. Welcome to hour number 4 of the Line Talk 99.5, Talk995.com, McLain and that Talk 99.5 app I'm always telling you about. Get your hands on that, cousin, and make sure you're taken care of wherever you go. I think the president is finally taking normal questions, I believe. So let's dip into the White House real quick and see what the president has to say.
Country. And I think we're doing very well. We're way ahead of schedule. We're under budget. It's going to be the most beautiful ballroom of its kind. You know, when I was in China, we went to the Great Hall of China. It was this big, beautiful building, and we don't have anything like that. And we have to have that. It's very important. But we also are getting tremendous military protection, drone protection. The building is drone-proof. It's missile-proof as much as something can be missile-proof. It's totally bulletproof. Any bullet, nothing can go through the windows. We have, all top-of-the-line stuff. It's very safe. And the one thing, it's not for me, because I'm going to be here a very short period of time when it's finished. If it finishes right on time, on budget, on time, I'll be there for 4, 5, 6 months. This is for future presidents. This isn't for me. This is for future presidents. And it's a gift. We're making a gift to our country, spending hundreds of millions of dollars to build a ballroom. And it's a gift from great patriots of this country. From, as an example, I'll give you names. I released some of the names. In fact, I wanted to put them out today, but we got a little busy. And this was, frankly, being with this group of people was very important to me. But we'll be putting them out, some of the people that contributed. But this is a gift to the United States of America. No taxpayer money is necessary. And you can have the finest ballroom anywhere in the world. It's not something I wanted to do, but it's something that's needed. And again, I'm not going to get to use it very much, because by the time it's completed, I'll have 4 or 5 months left, 3 months, who knows. But we're ahead of schedule. It's going to be the best of it in the world, of its kind in the world. There'll be nothing like it in the world. It fits beautifully with the White House. It's gotten fantastic reviews, architectural reviews. People think it's incredible. And when you see it, you'll say, wow, that's really something. And that's what the United States is all about. We have to have that. But in addition to the ballroom, we're building a great military complex. The people that started the lawsuit, the head person, I believe, was fired. And she was fired from another event just before that. And she's the one that started it. It's a National Trust, but the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Now, they say it's a United States. They use the word United States, but it's not related to the United States. In fact, the United States doesn't even contribute to it. It has nothing to do with it. It stopped contributing when they realized there were nothing but troublemakers. Years ago, it stopped contributing. So this isn't like an official United States bureau or United States agency. They stopped contributing to the National Trust. And it's called the National Trust. It has this great name, National Trust for Historic Preservation. They're a bunch of troublemakers that the United States, many years ago, long before me, stopped contributing to. The woman that started it was fired. She's no longer there. So this is the remnants of it. And the bottom line is they're trying to stop something, and they won't be successful, but they're trying to stop something that's almost completed. When they brought a suit, why didn't they bring the suit a year before? Why did they bring the suit in the middle of construction when $400 million almost is spent on its construction? Why wouldn't they have started the suit a year early? Everybody knew it was going to be. It was no secret. Everybody knew that it was taking place. So they should have done that. But the National Trust is very disloyal to the country because they reveal things. I said the problem with the suit, I told them this, is that we have many military things in this ballroom. And ideally, they shouldn't be revealed. But now they are revealed, so the world knows about it. That's okay. They shouldn't have done it. They're very disloyal. But I think we're doing really well. We're way ahead of schedule. and somebody and many presidents are going to use it for many years to come. The country will have one of the greatest gifts it's ever received.
Mr. President, on the ballroom.
Last week you said that you would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz to be a territory of the United States. Could you elaborate?
Well, I just think it's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, we control it. We control it with the blockade. We have a blockade. We control it with the blockade. And I like the idea of declaring it a territory.
When might you do that?
We have total control over the strait. Now, they can be a nuisance. They can put a mine in the water, and people don't like having mines hit their billion-dollar ships, you know, et cetera. But the blockade has been very effective. And, you know, we're taking out, and now maybe that will stop, or maybe it'll open up even further, but we're taking out millions of barrels of oil a week. If you look at the kind of numbers that we're doing, the strait is open. And the oil prices are coming down, and they will continue to come down unless we decide to do something far more drastic than we're doing. Iran is in big trouble. They have 300% inflation. The country's a mess, and the military is totally defeated. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, are you seeking an extension to the MOU?
Thank you.
All right, they're booting him out now.
Seeking an extension on the MOU?
I think. He was kind of looking around like he was going to take another one, but he told him to get up out of there.
It's that Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
That's what they always do. Rebel. It's like South Park where the town's all like out there with torches, and they're like, rabble, 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 rabble. They're all just saying rabble. That's pretty good. All right, 205-545-9950. I don't know that we got a whole lot out of that, but that's the way that works, man. It's hit or miss, and we just want to see if we can get anything out of it. Now, he was talking about Iran stuff. Obviously, gas prices is something that people are worried about. I'm telling you right now that I do not see gas prices. Let's just assume that they stay at the level that they're at now, and it obviously is fluctuating a lot back and forth. I see gas prices being lower by the time we get to November, but let's just say, for argument's sake, they stay around the same price as they are now. I don't believe that is going to be a factor in the election. And I don't think it's going to be a factor in the midterm elections because, remember, Trump is not on the ballot. Also, a lot of people, including independents, believe that something had to be done about Iran. And they don't fault the president for it. Anybody that's been paying attention to politics before Trump, because you got to understand, there are a lot of people that now keep up with politics that weren't keeping up with it before Trump came on the scene. Yeah, they knew who the president was or whatever, but they didn't keep up with it like they do now because politics is gone mainstream. And a lot of that is thanks to Donald Trump, whether it's people supporting him or people hating his guts. He has made it really mainstream across the board. People that would normally keep up with it now keep up with it. And traditionally, that would be a big thing, the gas prices. But a lot of people understand, going back to pre-Trump, that Iran was a problem and was going to be a problem. That's why so many people were up in arms with the way Obama handled it, or with the way that George W. Bush handled things in the Middle East. Same thing with Bill Clinton. You know, they all had their foreign affair snafus and controversies and F-ups, for lack of a better term. And this has been the opposite. Nobody's able to look at Iran and say, man, Trump really screwed that up. Operation-wise, as far as the actions being taken in Iran, it's all been done the way it needed to be done. Now, would we like Iran to wave the white flag, which is Trump called on them today to do that? Yeah, of course we would. But we're dealing with crazies who have been crazy well before Trump came on the scene. And people that have been keeping up with it long term understand how important it was to get this handled and to address the situation. Because we've seen time and time again a lack of leadership when it comes to crazy people or hostile actors acquiring nuclear weapons. Take North Korea, for instance. Trump, thankfully, has a good relationship with North Korea. Kim Jong-un. He did that in his first term. Very historic meeting, by the way. Was still, to this day, when I think back on that, it was such a crazy visual, a crazy visual to see Donald Trump standing across the line in the DMZ from Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-un telling him, hey, come on over. Come on over to this side. And them just yucking it up, having a good old time. He did that because previous presidents allowed it to get to this point, so you really don't have a choice but to try to keep the peace because they don't have a nuclear weapon. We're not willing to do that with Iran because, as you see with our current operations, there's no keeping the peace with them. There's no working together. It's not going to happen. There's no Kim Jong-un, you know? We're not going to be able to send Dennis Rodman to Tehran and hope to normalize relations. They don't care. They don't care about American pop culture like Kim Jong-un does, which he's kind of a younger guy, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. But, you know, it's something that's got to be handled. But speaking of North Korea, Donald Trump has ordered Pete Hegseth to slash or dramatically reduce what he says is costly joint military operations with South Korea. Now, the reasoning for this, according to the president, is it costs us way too much money. But he also cites his very good friendship with Kim Jong-un and also cites South Korea's unwillingness to help with Iran in the early stages. And he says, you know what? But if you're not there for us, what are we doing wasting our time with war games in South Korea? The reason that those had been done previously is to send a message to the North and say, hey, don't do anything crazy down here because we got these guys back. These are one of our allies. Well, they've elected losers now, South Korea. And so we're kind of like, so you're not going to work with us even though we've been doing this for you for so long? Come on. That's not how this works. Plus, it probably benefits the relationship between Trump and Kim Jong-un. I'm sure he was very happy. Here's what, before I hit this break, I'll tell you what Trump says. He said, based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, I am not happy with the fact that the United States has long ago agreed to participate in joint military exercises with South Korea. He says these exercises are not only costly, with much of these costs being paid for by the United States of America, as usual, but send a signal that is totally inappropriate and hostile to a country that, as long as Donald J. Trump has been president, has been unthreatening and respectful. Therefore, and based on the fact that it is too late to cancel, I have instructed Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to substantially reduce the joint military exercises. He put an exclamation point on that one. While somewhat unrelated, he says, I recently asked the president of South Korea if they would like to join us in the denuclearization of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And they said, quote, no thanks. So it's like, it doesn't have to do with this, but I do want to remind everybody that North Korea said no thanks to helping us with Iran. They call it the annual, it's pronounced Ulchi Freedom Shield drills that they do every year. It's an annual thing. And this year it was scheduled to run from today through the 27th. So it's a 10-day operation. And he put this out yesterday. So he said, we can't cancel it, but I'm ordering the Secretary of War to dramatically reduce what we're doing with South Korea. The previously announced exercise was expected to involve roughly 18,000 South Korean troops and combine live virtual field and command post training designed to prepare the allies for rapidly evolving threats. The U.S. and South Korean officials have described the drills as defensive. But the timing makes the order especially explosive. North Korea denounced the planned drills just days ago and threatened to strengthen its nuclear deterrent. Pyongyang also launched 2 ballistic missiles from the Wonsan area in the span of less than a week, according to South Korean military officials. So Trump's like, hey, listen, it's threatening. There's really no reason for it. And South Korea don't want to play ball, so why are we playing ball? 205-545-9950. Also, stuff on Iran. We'll give that to you when we get back. Let me tell you about my good buddy Dylan at Coverall RV Services. That's for you RV people. Do y'all have an RV? If you do, you're going to have to get it worked on at some point. Am I right? Or am I right? Dylan is my buddy. I've known him for years. I have I've talked to y'all about how I met Dylan years ago. It was during my rideshare days, and I was working directly with the company that he was working for, which is a place that rented out RVs for, days or weeks at a time. And he was their maintenance guy. And so he would get the RVs back. And I don't know if you know this, but when it comes to people renting things, they don't take as good a care of it as if they had purchased the thing themselves, whether that be a rental car or even an Airbnb or whatever. People just tend to take less care of it. Not everybody. Some people are super respectful and take care of their, the things that they buy on loan, if you will. But a lot of people don't. So it put Dylan in a spot where he had to freaking, fix a lot of issues on RVs. And so he took all that knowledge that he had acquired for so many years and he decided to start his own company, Coverall RV Services. And now he goes out there and works on people's RVs, and anything you can think of, whatever it is, RV related, he can get out there and fix it. And the beauty of it, what I love so much about his company is he will actually come to you. He will come out to your RV and he will fix it on the spot. But what he's doing now is he's got his own spot where you can bring your RV to him. Say, just for instance, say you've got an insurance claim and the company's like, all right, here's the money, blah, blah, blah. You go figure out where you want to get it fixed. You call up Dylan, go drop the RV off with him, and he'll get it done, and it'll be like brand new. That's right. So every single RV person in this audience, whether it's an RV or a pop-up camper or any kind of camper, I want you to put this number in your phone. You need to have this on standby, even if you don't have issues right now. The number is 205 224 2268. That's 205 224 2268. And that is Coverall RV Services. When you talk to Dylan, make sure you tell him I sent you. He'll know who you're talking about. He's my buddy. Also, he's on Facebook. Coverall RV Services on Facebook. You can message him there as well. And even see some of the work that he's done. Coverall RV Services. 205 224 2268. Wheel of Segments up next. Let me tell you about Chuck Davis. ChuckDavisLaw.com. ChuckDavisLaw.com. My buddy, my friend, my pal, my attorney. Talked to Chuck Friday, actually. Just checking in on him, telling him about all my white trash drama that I got going on. I don't know if he actually enjoys hearing about it, but I tell him about it anyway. Yeah, because I got crazy stories. Not necessarily directly like it's not my white trash drama, but it's white trash drama in my orbit, I guess we could say. And so I like to tell him about that stuff. But listen, maybe you got drama in your life. Maybe you're dealing with a divorce or a custody battle. Maybe you've got somebody that's been hurt. Maybe yourself, you've been hurt in a car wreck and a slip and fall. Maybe you fell down the stairs at a family reunion and busted up your knee, and now you want to sue your sister and brother-in-law for not having the lights on for you when you came downstairs. Right, John Bird?
Yeah.
And so hopefully John Bird doesn't agree with that, and he's not going to sue his sister and brother-in-law
No.
for personal. You didn't hear anything I said. I was talking about personal injury with Chuck
Yeah,
Davis
you're saying I was going to sue my own family.
for falling down the stairs. They should have had the light on for you.
I should turn on my own light.
Motel 6 would have done it.
Yeah, among other things.
But yeah, any of those things. Also, paperwork like contracts, probate, real estate, wills. Get the wills done. Reach out to Chuck. Let him know I sent you, and he's going to take care of you, man. 205-823-9992 is the number. That's 205-823-9992 and online ChuckDavisLaw.com. No representation is made that the legal services provided are superior to the legal services provided by other lawyers. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Wheel of Sigmund.
Criminals that suck.
Criminals that suck.
Gosh.
Y'all, by the way, make sure you go and check out our first Facebook Live that we did.
Oh, yeah.
That is on Facebook. I haven't even mentioned it during the show, I don't think. We're going to do just a quick couple, 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 minutes before the show starts to kind of give you guys a preview of what to expect. That's going to be on Facebook. We're going to do that live each day. I mean, unless something pops up. But we're going to try to do it each day, and it gives you a little insight. It's me and Bird just hanging out in the office. It is going to derail some people's days who come in there and try to harass you, like Steve in sales, because you're going to be doing a live video. He's not going to have the opportunity to come in there and ask you about all the women chasing
Yeah,
you.
he's just jealous.
But y'all can see that. It's up. Even after, you don't have to watch it live. Just after the fact, go check it out. And tell us what you think. Tell us if you like that format or not, or if you'd like to see us do something different. We're just, we're content creators, baby. We're out here making that content. All right. Up first on the wheel in Criminals That Suck. 13-year-old in Detroit. Domestic shooting taken into custody in Ohio. A 13-year-old in a Detroit domestic shooting has been taken into custody. A 13-year-old suspect in Detroit has been taken into custody in Ohio after he allegedly shot his father in the back twice. It's never a good look when you shoot somebody in the back. Right. Authorities had previously warned the public not to approach the teen, who was considered armed and dangerous. He was on the run for a while.
Oh.
Officers responded to the 18,000 block of Breton Drive around 5 p.m. Tuesday for a report of a disturbance. Based on a preliminary investigation, police believe the teen shot his father twice in the back following, quote, an instance of discipline. Police said the father is expected to survive. The teen then fled in the family's gray 2026 Rivian SUV, accompanied by the family dog, a French Mastiff. Like that's a big dog, right?
A Mastiff, yes, huge.
So he shot his dad, took the family vehicle and the dog.
Man.
The teen was last seen traveling south on the Southfield Freeway toward Lincoln Park. Now, this is all kind of backdating or predating. After this was all said before they caught him, is the way this story's structured, I guess.
Okay.
Around 10 p.m., police said they had safely taken the teen into custody along with the dog and another individual who was found inside the vehicle. So he went and picked somebody up. Police were working with authorities in Ohio to extradite the individual to Michigan. The Detroit Police Department said the incident remains under investigation. Now, that's interesting because police believe the teen shot his father twice in the back following, quote, an instance of discipline, which I assume is them trying to say that his dad was trying to discipline him and he wasn't having none of it, so he shot his dad.
But in the back, I mean, how can you? I guess he just disciplined, said, I'm going to get my belt, and turned to walk away or something.
Or he pulled the gun on him and he tried to get out of the house before he got shot.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And what's crazy is you and I both know a story very similar to that where it was a matter of, after investigating, it was a matter of a father being violent towards the child.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say that's not the case here? You know? Going on the run wasn't the best idea. You know, if you find yourself in that situation, I'd call police.
Yeah.
And say, here's what happened. You know, I shot my dad. He was doing X, Y, and Z to me.
Maybe you wanted to get rid of the family dog.
Who knows? Who knows? All right, let's keep moving. Up next. Well, let's get rid of this one. Where's that trash can? Boom.
I think you made it.
I did.
Yay.
I heard it swish. Next up, headline reads, Little Debbie delivery truck driver charged with $17,000 fraud scheme for selling his cargo at flea markets. That's right. If you found a deal on Little Debbie snack cakes at the flea market in Pennsylvania last year, there's a good chance those treats were stolen. I don't think you really care, though, do you?
No, I mean, you can't give them back. Well, I mean,
if you ate them, you can't give them back.
Yeah.
Police in Washington, in the Washington Police Department in eastern Pennsylvania, have charged a delivery driver with running a scheme that let him sell the oatmeal cream pies, cosmic brownies, Star Crunches, and Nutty Buddies himself while submitting false invoices saying the products had been delivered to retailers. What do you think? Nobody's going to figure that out?
I know, man. I mean, Nutty Buddies.
All totaled, authorities say the driver netted more than $17,000 before he was caught. James Powell, a former Stewart Snacks LLC delivery driver, was taken into custody in West Virginia in late July and extradited to Pennsylvania. He faces more than a dozen charges of forgery, theft by deception, theft by unlawful taking, deceptive or fraudulent business practices, and tampering with records or identification. As of publication time, Powell has not entered a plea in this case, and none of the charges have been proven in court. But as an employee of Ohio-based Stewart Snacks, Powell would order, transport, deliver, stock, and service Little Debbie products throughout the Washington County area, which is located southwest of Pittsburgh, right along the West Virginia state line. Invoices would be submitted to stores, and drivers were paid based on how many snacks they sold in their assigned territory. Well, that would be pretty good.
Delivery and sales.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies do that. Beer companies do that, and they say, "Hey, you go to the store, and if you can position these in a way where they sell, based on how many you sell, you're going to make more money," which is kind of cool. It's a good. I don't know. Like, I would be interested to know for people that are in that industry, like, how much do you make per unit? Like, okay, say you do beer. Like, how much do you make extra for each 12-pack of Bud Light that's sold?
So their salary is not based on how much is sold.
No, they probably get a salary, but they also get a commission, which would be when they go to the store and they see how many are missing based on what they brought last time, they're able to say, okay, we sold this many in this amount of time, and then you get paid based on how high that number is. It's kind of cool because
but what can you do to make it cooler? Put little smiley face stickers on them?
Well, I mean, talk to the store managers and say, hey, can we put these over here in this position where they're more likely to be seen? Or because in grocery stores, it's not about people coming in looking for something in particular. It's about positioning for people to pass it and then say to themselves, oh, I'd really like that. That's why they put candy at the aisles and everything else. And in some cases, say with this Little Debbie guy, he may have an end cap on an aisle, or he might have his own standalone display that he can put in the middle of an aisle that, is easily spotted. And so that's what they want the delivery drivers to do, I assume, is make the product noticeable, and that's why they give them those incentives. Of course, I don't know. I've never worked in that industry. I'm just assuming.
You got to be a lot of incentive there.
Authorities say Powell submitted fraudulent invoices with forged signatures from stores including Walmart and Shop and Save, totaling more than $13,000 between July and September of last year. But he instead allegedly sold the snack cakes from his delivery vehicle at flea markets. Beyond the money Powell made from the sale of those confections, he also earned more than $3,700 in commissions, according to police.
Oh.
So because he was forging documents, he was able to probably say he sold more than he actually did. Stewart Snacks has since reimbursed companies for the alleged fraudulent invoices. The company is now attempting to get the money back from Powell. Says there have been several incidents in the past few months involving theft of food and beverage on a large scale. Most notable was an occurrence in March in Indiana where Randall Baker allegedly stole a Bud Light beer truck that was outside of a liquor store while the driver was unloading it. He then led police on a Smokey and the Bandit style pursuit, ultimately striking a deputy's patrol vehicle, which resulted in the semi leaving the roadway and coming to a rest in a field.
Yeah, but I mean, I wonder how much prison time he could get for selling snack cakes.
I don't know. But
I mean, why didn't he just go out and make use EBT card? And
man.
Make like the pineapple things in a jar.
Yeah, do it the old school way, man.
Yeah.
Do some EBT fraud.
There you go.
Yeah. Scam the government. Scam the taxpayer. Don't scam your boss. It's a bad idea. And last but not least, headline reads, Shake Shack worker allegedly robbed his own store and returned to work days later. In Scottsdale, Arizona. Get that yawn in, Jumbird. I know you want to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A Phoenix man faces armed robbery and kidnapping charges after police say he robbed the Scottsdale Shake Shack location where he worked, then returned to the store 2 days later where he was arrested. Keandre Simmons, 33 years old, was taken into custody on Wednesday, August 5th, in the parking lot of the Shake Shack near Scottsdale and Greenway Road, the same location where police say he robbed two co-workers at gunpoint 2 days earlier.
What?
He robbed his own co-workers at gunpoint. According to the court documents, Simmons entered the restaurant through the rear delivery door on August 3rd, armed with a semi-automatic handgun. He allegedly forced one employee into a walk-in cooler at gunpoint, then directed the on-duty manager to open the store safe and hand over approximately $2,800 in cash. Simmons is then accused of locking both employees in the cooler before returning to force them to kneel at gunpoint. He also allegedly took their cell phones and a landline phone, destroying all of them by throwing them into a sink filled with water. Investigators say both victims told police the suspect's physical characteristics, voice, and familiarity with the store, including knowledge of the walk-in cooler latch, the location of gloves and cleaning wipes, and the layout of employee-only areas, were consistent with Simmons, who had called out sick that morning earlier than his typical pattern. Surveillance video from Shake Shack and surrounding property corroborated the victims' accounts, showing the suspect entering and exiting through the rear of the restaurant and leaving a parking lot in a green SUV. Search warrant for his cell phone records placed his device in the area of the restaurant at the time of the robbery. And then on August 5th, court records say detectives watched Simmons leave his apartment and drive to the Scottsdale Road Shake Shack location where he was arrested. In his initial court appearance, Simmons was seen wearing his Shake Shack uniform.
Gosh. What do you even say about that? What kind of stupidity? Is he a meth head or something? I mean,
During a Mirandized interview, Simmons allegedly said he discarded the clothing he wore during the incident. He also told investigators a firearm was inside his residence. A search warrant executed at his home turned up a firearm with characteristics similar to the one used in the robbery, along with denominations of U.S. currency consistent with the stolen cash. He was held on a $100,000 secured bond. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call Criminals That Suck. Noto Roofing, NOTOroofing.com, NOTOroofing.com. Our roofing guys looking to help you out. Free roof inspection, free complimentary roof tune-up. Free and complimentary, that's the same thing, but you get what I mean. Get with it. Let them know I sent you when you talk to them, and just make sure your roof's in good shape. Make sure you don't have any major problems, because nothing's worse than a problem popping up out of nowhere when you're not ready for it. So if you can beat your roof to the problem, you'll be in much better shape. 205-848-2299. That's 848-2299 and online, notoroofing.com. All right, real quick, Ernest Financial, retirewithernest.com, retirewithernest.com. My buddy David Ernest with the retirement plan. Retirewithernest.com is the website. If you got $50K or more in your retirement, reach out to David Ernest. You need somebody helping you walk through the process, making sure your money's secure and making it grow. That's what David does. He's been doing it for over 45 years. He's got you locked in, man. And it doesn't cost you anything. You don't get his fees from you. 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-7233 and online, retirewithernest.com. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Let's do it again, shall we? Back tomorrow with a brand new episode. Leland Live up next. And until next time, see you, Cole.